Manifest calm in your business. I'm going to show you how. Whether you are building your own business or you're a key contributor for someone else's, you want to have a sense of calm and joy about your work. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because the thing about it is, you make better decisions from a place of calm. Better decisions produce better results, and better results are satisfying. Dare I say, satiating. It keeps you motivated to create and to expand, and that's all we really want. Now, what type of energy don't you want? That frantic, hurried, chaotic, messy, confusing, disconnected, ineffective type of energy? That sounds about right. None of that is profitable or spiritually satisfying. That's the energy that burns you out because it overconsumes everything that you need to have joy, like your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. So it seems pretty obvious that those aren't the energies that we want. So why are they so common in people's professional experience? I'll tell you why. There's 3 root causes for business overwhelm. Whether you're a business of 1 or 1,000, you're still going to face the same root causes. Getting off focus, overusing or underusing resources, or mismanaging time. Let's talk about getting off focus. This is really shifting focus from your target. And this happens when you find yourself overthinking without ever getting to a decision point. It can also happen when you do decide, but then you immediately double back because you've started to doubt your own choices. This is a pretty big issue, and it relates a lot to something called scope that I will explain a little bit more later. But essentially, scope constitutes the definition of a thing, right? Like, how do you define what you want, need, or desire? This the sum total of it. So when I say I want to manage the scope of a project, what I'm really saying is I want to stay on focus for my target goal. Now, overusing and underusing your resources. How can this be a root cause for burnout? Well, if you do not decide to prioritize it, you're basically going to end up trying to do everything, and then you'll end up doing too much and more than you can actually sustain. Not having a system or process in place to support the execution, and that's definitely going to lead to burnout. The third root cause is mismanaging of time. Not knowing where to focus or to spend your time. Not having any measures of success to determine that you're actually making progress toward your goals and that you're actually still aligned with your values. All of which will lead to business overwhelm. So, how do we solve these root causes? The secret? Project management. Yes, I said it. Project management. Project management is a discipline. It is a practice of intentional thoughts and actions that drive confidence in one's ability to bring ideas into reality. And when you know you can do something, you feel confident. And when you feel confident, you move in ways that bring joy and success to your choices. So when we master the discipline of project management, in turn, we're actually receiving the ability to direct our own reality. So let's talk about confident decision making for a bit, because it allows you to do 3 things. You can build with having a balanced lifestyle. You can sustain energy and motivation. And ultimately, confidence inspires creativity. So we want to be able to use and tap into project management. It's so dope because it's actually a learnable formula, a set of skills and tools that can help us to manage the material resources in our lives and in our business. So in our relationships, because this is a big part of successful project management too, right? Relationship management. As a project manager, I manage projects to reach their respective goals on time, within budget, and on scope. That's it. So basically, I navigate change by finding ways to move with and around people, places, or things. So sometimes I will say that those things feel like obstacles. Sometimes they feel like dance partners. But either way, the discipline that I master in one area of my life can be applied to other areas of my life in any way that I choose. Why? Because I understand project management. I understand the skill and the art of it. Because project management is an art. It's the art of manifestation. Haven't heard that one before yet? Okay, let me tell you why. It takes ideas down from your head and brings them into reality. And I know how to manifest on time, on budget, and within scope because I've applied that skill set. So, all anyone wants to know is how to own their power, to know that they have the ability to do a thing, then to do it, and then to know that it's good. That's it. That's all we want, right? And so the good news is there is so much good all around us, in us, through us. And the more that we train our skill to see good and then master the art to manage the resources that we have, I can choose to manifest any reality that I choose. I choose joy as a radical alternative to burning out. It is not for the faint of heart, but it is learnable. So let's transfer project management across other areas of our lives and borrow some confidence, if you will. So this idea of borrowed confidence, I actually learned from my very first coach when I was starting to create content. This was years ago. I made a workbook and my poetry event and the affirmations that you can wear. And at that time, I took this huge risk that I would not have normally taken if I were just betting on myself. But I wasn't. I was betting on her too. And her belief in her own ability caused me to believe in mine. So I borrowed her confidence. So I was able to start doing things, imperfect as they were, that were exactly what I needed to grow, to generate, and to navigate change. So I want to take that same principle and borrow some confidence from project management to see how we can apply it to avoid or reversing burnout and, of course, bringing calm into our business. In project management, we have a term that we call burn down. It literally refers to the rate at which a project is burning or using its resources. So what do I mean when I say resources? I am specifically talking in terms of time, money, people, exchange of value, okay? So if a project is spending its budget too quickly, for example, or it has people who are too overutilized or overwhelmed to actually execute work efficiently and they're going back and they're redoing work, or if the due date just keeps moving, this is what you call burning down too quickly and inevitably will ultimately burn out. Because time and money are resources, they rely on math. You can start with an amount and you will end with an amount. Now, it can either grow or it can fall as much as you want, but we have to navigate the range of the highs and the lows. We just have to consider the math. We have to remember 0 is a number, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. 0 meaning we have reached the end of our energy. We have reached the end of our time. We have reached the end of our capacity that exists. So when we start to understand how scope works, how budget works, how time works within the principles of project management and how we can apply that to our lives and within our business, we can start making proactive decisions to manage our resources and the rate at which they're burning in advance so that we don't actually get to the 0, right? Like so that we always have a little bit of cushion. We always have a little bit of, space before we have depleted ourselves. It's just like driving a car. You never run out of gas unless you're a first time driver and you've never done it before. But if you are grown, running out of gas in your car, that's a thing, right? So we want to take that same principle and apply it into business. And so you can learn project management and learn the art of mastering the pieces of our lives and the energy we direct to create a reality that actually drives joy. And when we can find the good in any circumstance, then we can train the mind and the body to follow the will of our spirit. And when we can do that, when we can tap into our highest form of ourselves and trust that it is good and that it comes from the best place possible, even when it comes with waves of low vibration, we can direct any energy that comes our way and manifest for our highest good. This is why endurance training is so valuable, because strength is required to get, keep, and grow anything. You have to have strength. It requires maintenance. It requires sustainability. And objects that are constantly in motion always require sustainability. Back to our business. We're constantly moving. It has to be able to keep moving and endure at a pace that will allow for the recovery time that precedes growth. Building strength requires an engine to keep it moving and at a pace that can withstand the velocity in which you're trying to move in. So, mental endurance, emotional endurance, physical endurance. What do we need to endure? We need our bodies to be well. We need energy in our bodies to fuel it. And so, if at any moment or any space of my life I feel low in energy, that part of me is at risk for burn down or burning out. And as it burns down, it will offer signs and signals to communicate, but sometimes they go unnoticed. So I'm going to share a few of them with you so that you can pay attention. If your body has signs of physical exhaustion, mental fogginess and forgetfulness, if you notice maybe weight gain or chest pains, body aches or stiffness, constipation or indigestion, these are all signs of your body burning down. And so there are 4 key tools that project management offers that really helps us to navigate and avoid burnout. That's the iron triangle: decision making, relationship management, and risk management. I'm going to briefly explain each and why they are essential to preventing burnout and overwhelm. And then I'm going to share how I actually make it very transferable and accessible for everyday life. For many people who are not familiar with project management, it might feel intimidating or limiting even, like it's only for business. And they may not see themselves as being organized enough to actually say, I'm a project manager. But I'm going to break down all of those myths and show you just how easily it can be transferred from one area of your life to another, like a career or your home, finances, or relationships. Because remember, if you want calm in your business, you have to remember that you have to have people who know how to manage and bring calm into their lives so that when they come into the business, they can collectively make decisions that will bring that nature about. Okay, so let's talk about it. First concept is iron triangle. I mentioned this earlier when I mentioned scope, so let me tell you a little bit about it. The thing you need to know about triangles is that it is the strongest shape there is. Any weight placed on them, evenly distributed on all 3 sides, will not break. It represents sturdiness, so no matter what, it's strong enough to withstand. So the iron triangle represents the elements that are the foundation of any and every project. That's scope, time, and budget, or resources, like I like to call it. Now, according to the Project Management Institute, a project is any temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. It's temporary in that it has a defined beginning and there is an ending and there's something to accomplish in between. So when you really start to think about life as a project, you can take any goal or endeavor that you can imagine and translate it into a project. Because if it's a project, it's figure outable, and that means it's manageable. And if it's manageable, that means there are ways to pursue it without burning out. And that's the key here. We want calm in our business. Let's talk about decision management. How do businesses progress toward their quarterly or their annual goals? Through projects. Whether that's a product launch or a sales goal or operations improvement, each goal is a small step in a larger plan. But each step requires leaders to make decisions. What's the goal? How will it be measured? When will we start? And so that's the same in life, right? Like if you want to lose weight, or if you want to grow in your career or have a new relationship and you're bringing that energy into work, either way, they all require decisions. And it's the same thing that a lot of people like to avoid. They hope that someone else will make a decision for them and that it will work out. But really, decisions are powerful and necessary to progress any project or to reach any goal in life. And once you decide to own your power to choose, then you can open yourself up to learning models that will help you to increase your confidence and decrease your decision-making time, both of which reduce anxiety and help to prevent burnout and overwhelm.